Welcome back to the channel, guys. We are talking about if Blake Lively's team is manipulating Wikipedia. It seems irrelevant in these times, right? We would think that the places to try and manipulate the media would be TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, but no, Wikipedia is one of the number one places to head when a PR team is looking to manipulate the media and create a very specific narrative. I'm going to break it down for you guys on why. I got your back. We're going to look at why they would go to Wikipedia, why they may be targeting content creators over on Wikipedia as well. We are seeing this with Kirstie Fla. She talked about this over on her channel. I believe it was yesterday. She went on the channel and exposed how her Wikipedia page has been essentially attacked. In fact, should we just go? Let's maybe just go to her first. I believe I have. Let's switch over and look at her video first. How are you guys doing? Say hi. Let me know. Hello. It's so nice to see you. How are you guys doing? Late day today because we had to take care of some new baby chicks that are at the house. And vaccinate them. And the vet's like 2 hours away. So hello, Haley. So nice to see you guys. Ooh, it is a deep dive that we are going into. You're so savvy at all this. I'm so glad that my background in branding and marketing can help. I had some people questioning it in the beginning, and they were like, I don't know, like you say you're branding and marketing, but you don't seem to know what's going on. And then all this changed and people messaged me and they're like, oh, you did call this. Like, yeah, I know this. Hello. It's so nice to see you guys. Hi, it's my soul's dancing. I'm so happy you went live. It's so nice to see you. I was just chatting with you in the comments of the reel I put up. I said that, I don't know if you guys heard that the hearing, I think it's 7 a.m. Leo had said California time, Thursday, the 6th, between Lively and Wayfair is going to be, there's gonna be an audio, guys. Like there's gonna be an audio that can be streamed. But guys, I need to sell a kidney. Does anyone like know a black market? Oh shoot, I shouldn't have said that. Now my stuff's really gonna be suppressed. In one video, I'm talking about black box, and in this one, selling a kidney. The algorithm's going to hate me. But yeah, I need to sell a kidney so I can just like hang out with you guys and be here all the time. I mean, that just sounds amazing to me. So, you always bring a fresh approach. Thank you so much. Hello, guys. It's so nice to see you guys hopping in the chat. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday. All right. So today we are going to be diving into what the heck is going on over on Wikipedia and what's going on over on X. So X is also seems to be allegedly suppressing the hashtags of Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni. So that is what we are going to look at as well. Hello from Denmark. Oh my goodness. Beautiful. Saw a clip of yours on Dave Neal. I love your channel. Oh, well, thank you. I love Dave. I have to say, when I was getting lunch ready today, when he shared some of my clips and I almost passed out. I admire him so much. I really, really like him. So it's cool to see him share the clips. Okay, guys, let's hear what Kjersti has to say. I want to be so specific in saying her name properly. I respect her so much. She seems so lovely. I messaged her. I actually sent her a DM about all of this after the live yesterday. And I said, this is what's going on. This is why they're doing it. And she goes, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. So she just seems like honestly the most lovely individual ever. So I'm going to play a little clip from her. And then we'll go back to the slides. You guys know I love my slides. I'm a little bit of a nerd here. So we're going to go back to the slides. I'm going to tell you why they're doing this because I feel like everyone's telling you it's being, well, I think I was the first one to break it. But anyway, it is now getting out that SEO manipulation is being done, narrative control is being done. And I want to tell you guys why, so that you can start to spot it, so you can start to see it, and we can start to be the change, right? Because there are things we can do to combat this. All right, let's hear.
But today, it's really obvious to me that they're using this Wikipedia page to try and smear me. Because now my whole page is only focused on things that can create controversy around me as a journalist and as a person. By the way, I would love to, if someone can go back, I think there's like this history thing that you can go back and see the original page, the one that was up 5 days ago. I would love to see.
You can do that. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to teach you guys, if you don't know how, to go in and actually even compare. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys know how to go into Wikipedia and compare? Because you can compare two different edits and you can even see what a certain person is editing within it.
See it and compare, because I didn't save it. But I would love to see and compare actually what they did, because I could only see all the things that they've changed and how many times they changed it. And I could see that they added an extra story to make me look bad. And that story is an interview I did with Claudia Kim.
So I'll just pause, but yeah, you can go in, you can compare different Wikipedia entries. I will say, so what I'm going to teach you guys around this today. I love teaching branding and marketing. It was, well, is still kind of my full-time job, what I do with my clients. So on Thursday, I can't be with you guys because I actually have a client, a whole brand VIP day that I'm doing all day with a client. They come to me, we work on their brand, we create their brand, and I send them out the door with basically a brand in a box. They can apply it immediately to their business. But yeah, you can actually track it, and PR teams will create these accounts, basically fake accounts, and they'll go in and, because Wikipedia actually penalizes like PR teams that are trying to manipulate it. Well, so they say. I have my own theories on that. So they create these fake accounts and it kind of looks like different accounts are editing, but it all sometimes, if you have the tools to, could be traced back to the PR team.
Korean actress who was in Fantastic Beast. The story was that I asked her if she had read Harry Potter in school in Korea when she was a kid, because she said her uncle had sent the book to her. And I said, was it in English? And she was like, yes. And I was like, wow, impressed that she could read a book in English when she was 8 years old. I mean, I'm from Norway myself. I could never read Harry Potter in English when I was 8 years old. So I was really impressed by that. But then they twisted this around, making it like, oh, she's racist because she said you didn't speak English when you were 8. It's such a crazy story to me. But but it did create some trolls from Korea started commenting on that video saying like, oh, you think that she didn't speak English? I'm like, I didn't.
It's probably bots, I would imagine. I haven't seen those comments themselves. Yes, please like the stream, subscribe to the channel. We do like a little bit of deeper dives into things. I always joke I have ADHD and hyperfixation. So when I see certain threads, we just go down that rabbit hole. Like, join in on the chat. It's such a good chat around here. All right, so that is what happened. Now I want to show you guys why with my nerdy screens or my nerdy slides, show you guys why this would happen. Because one of the questions I was getting a lot online and on TikTok was, but Ashley, Wikipedia doesn't matter anymore. Like, this stuff doesn't matter. No one's Googling stuff. And I think that's a generational thing. I'm older, so let me know if you guys do. I type things in Google to see what the trending news is first. I think it's a habit, but I do think it's generational for a lot of people to go to certain platforms. But what we're seeing overall when we look at, let's make this bigger so you guys can see my notes. When we look at trends, is Google is still number one. So it is actually significant when we're looking at a journalist that is supporting Justin being dragged down through Wikipedia, because not only is Google number one, but Wikipedia answers 99% of the questions on Google. So you have Google as being the number one search engine, the number one place where people are going for information that they deem reliable, that they deem trustworthy. And not only that, but then you have 99% of the time, Wikipedia is answering those questions. And especially with AI, it's pulling information from Wikipedia, but Wikipedia often as well, not all the time, but often will be at the top of a search function as well. Now, when we look at it, and we look at the research within PR, within marketing, it's pretty set. Like, it is an excellent tool for SEO. If you're looking to maximize your rankings, this is you can find all kinds of stuff proving this. It doesn't only increase your visibility and your presence, but when we look at creating a narrative control as well, it's going to push your rankings or your words, your keywords up to the top. So it's going to improve credibility, if you will, because people, I know this is weird. It's very weird to me as well. put a lot of stock in it. I know it's crazy, but we're going to pull apart Wikipedia as well. So I have kind of a conspiracy theory around it, but it is used to shape the narrative. Now, when we look at why PR teams would target Wikipedia and why this makes so much sense that we're starting to see Wikipedia accounts be targeted is because one, Google's, again, knowledge panel pulled directly from there, which is kind of wild. Am I the only one that still finds that very shocking? Let me just check. So let's pray Olivia Wilde speaks out. I hope a lot of people speak out. And, oh, interesting. Paul Pichon was suspended for being a sock puppet for Achieve magazine. I'm so glad you said the word. I was going around in my head. I'm like, do I say sock puppet? Will anyone know what I mean? So there you go for Achieve magazine. There you go. Thank you for sharing that. So yes, you will get, and that's essentially what those fake accounts are called. I think I have it on a later slide, but sock puppet accounts. Any scholar knows colleges will not accept Wikipedia as a legit source of knowledge, but the AI, like you're saying, programmed to, yes, exactly. They're going to pull from Wikipedia, and most people still use it. Like I even see journalists in legacy media quote Wikipedia. I have theories on this we'll get to though. So reputation management firms will use it to rewrite history because you quite literally can and frame things in a certain way. So you're going to downplay scandals. We see that in Blake's page right now. We'll pull up Blake's, we'll have a look, erase criticism, basically, yeah, rewrite history. And edits kind of become this official record for AI and search engines. So people, and I know it's so crazy, guys, because we have critical thinking skills here. We all have critical thinking skills. So when we hear that people blindly follow what Wikipedia says, all of us here are going, Ashley, you're losing your mind. That's not the case. But they actually do. What is a sock puppet? So a sock puppet account is going to be like a fake account, essentially. You're pretending to be something you're not so that you don't get in trouble. Because in theory, Wikipedia frowns upon PR teams doing what PR teams do. I'm in kindergarten here. I have no idea of this stuff. That's okay. That's why I wanted to show you guys kind of the inner workings of it, because I think it's important. Because then if you guys know what to look for, if we all know what to look for, and we have that kind of literacy around media manipulation, it's not going to work, right? It's not going to work as well. And then you guys also can use the power of the collective to call it out. So yes, essentially what we're looking at is PR teams. It's going to be one of their number one spots that they go first. So yes, the trends that we're seeing as well in terms of, so when I look at stuff like this for branding for a client, for example, I'm always looking at trends. I want to know the trends. I want to be on top of the trends. And so the current trends on what they're saying in regards to Google versus say TikTok for information. Gen Z and millennials increasingly prefer TikTok for how-to content, product reviews, and lifestyle searches. Google is still, guys, still. So when I'm working with a client and I have a client that's going back and forth on, prioritizing, because not all my clients have the endless resources that like a Blake Lively has, right? So when we're looking at prioritizing something, this matters because we want to see where are people searching for you? What platform are people looking for your content at? And so we can look at this and we can look at trends and say, okay, based on your niche, based on who you're talking to, this is where we want to focus your SEO. SEO, search engine optimization, isn't bad. And in and of itself isn't sketchy. In fact, I'm going to tell you guys something. This is wild. So keep in mind what Blake's doing with SEO. I have a ton of videos about it. If I, for a client, create a blog, or myself, create a blog, and I have the exact same blog on my website, okay? So I put the same blog with a similar title and similar keywords on my website, and then I go over to LinkedIn and I do the exact same thing. Google's going to suppress both of my platforms for manipulation of the SEO. But this, what celebrities do, doesn't get suppressed. It's just wild to me. So regular people like us are going to get penalized in Google for pulling stuff like this. So if for example, if I have a client or even myself and I want to post something on LinkedIn as well as my website, you wait a few weeks. And then you change things up, but you want to wait a few weeks. So the fact that people can get away with this just blows my mind. Yeah, I agree. That's very important. Your famous Ash, Dave played your shorts. I love Dave. I listen to him like all the time. So that is, I mean, it was very much a fangirl moment when I heard that. And when I saw that, I was literally making lunch when I heard my name and I almost fell over. So Google is still the go-to for, and this is what's so important, fact-based and traditional searches, but it's losing ground for recommendations, personal experience, and niche topics. With over 91.47% of the search market share, Google is a number one search engine. So this is why it matters, guys. So we might feel, and this is why it's very easy in our heads, right? In our little fish bowls on, say, TikTok or Threads or Instagram, to look at the narrative and be like, oh, it's overwhelmingly positive for Justin, or it's overwhelmingly positive for seeing that, nice pools very clearly making fun of Justin Baldoni. So in our little fishbowl, it seems obvious. But when we look at the majority of the population, 91.47% of search market share. So that means people are going there before they even go to YouTube. So it matters when some of this stuff is being done. YouTube is the second largest search engine with over 2.5 billion logged in users per month, but it's still second. All right, let's look at some red flags. So I want you guys to start keeping this in mind, because one thing we have to keep in mind with Wikipedia is technically anyone can set one up. Hello, happy Monday. It's so nice to see you in the chat, Pam. One thing we want to keep in mind with Wikipedia is anyone can set it up, and in theory, anyone can edit it. Whether that edit sticks or not is a different story, but anyone can edit it. All right, I've seen some like weird, really poor grammatical errors on Justin's page where someone was trying to frame him as, like no one's had any complaints about him, but there's been all these complaints about Blake from Gossip Girl Day. So it seems like very much a fan that went in and made that edit. So that's just something to keep in mind. But there's some things you can look for that start to make you go, Emily D. Baker would say, I have questions. I always say it makes me go, because that's literally what I do in my head. And then my ADHD takes me down that rabbit hole. Not every edit is suspicious either, but here's some red flags to look for. So this is Blake's page. This pagan hobbit, 49 edits. So mass edits by a single user can flag something suspicious. All right, so that's the number one thing you want to look for. Number two, there we go. Why is my picture not working? Damn it. All right, my picture's not working for me. Thank you for all you've done and for continuing to bring objective truth and exposure to these things. Oh my goodness, it's my pleasure. I love talking about this. This is the stuff I talk about in my free time. So it's just really cool that I have people to talk with about it. It's really cool. I like pinch myself every day. Negative information mysteriously disappearing is going to be another one. So if you look back, and I'll show you guys how you can compare different edits, if like all of a sudden a controversy is removed or there's suspicious rewording to soften the criticism, we see this in Blake's a lot, or it's not a scandal, it's not troubled. It's like there was a debunked claims or controversy that was later proven false or whatever. And then Blake's Wikipedia, what you're going to see a lot of is then she's selectively, I know it's hard to believe, but selectively picked journalists that support her and put them in her Wikipedia page. Well, not Blake herself. I'm assuming someone on her team, allegedly. Hello. So nice to see you guys in the chat. Now, edits happening across multiple related pages. So if you're seeing like Blake Lively's page, Ryan Reynolds' page, say update at the exact same time, that'd be a little bit of a red flag for me. That's more not necessarily manipulation, but just a PR, like someone on the PR going in and editing it rather than it just being non-PR generated. If it's Blake Lively's team or Blake Lively's account, and then all of a sudden content creators are being pulled down, that would be another red flag. Or even just a lot of edits all of a sudden on, like Kirstie Fla's account, all of these edits. This is Kirstie Fla's account. If you go there, it's not as bad today, but yesterday it was like edited a minute ago, edited a minute ago, edited a minute ago. And it was just constant edits. And when we look at Kjersti's page, it was like leaning towards negative. So every edit was kind of leaning towards negative. And so that can be a sign that something's up. Now, does it mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Does it mean it's Blake's, new Ray Donovan hire? Nick Shapiro. Now I can't get it on my head. I need to watch Ray Donovan again, because that's literally what Nick Shapiro is and what he did for Airbnb. Make sure you watch my black box videos. Really good. But does it mean every time is him? Well, not necessarily. But again, you want to look for trends. That's what you always want to be looking for. Look for the pattern. Heavy use of talk pages to argue why something should be removed. So PR teams will use Wikipedia's own rules to bury criticism. And, something I say is if PR teams want to control a story, they start with Wikipedia. Now, another thing that's happening before we get to looking at their pages, it's the airbrushing of reality, and happens way more now than in previous years across a lot of platforms. Exactly. Side question. That's okay, Crystal. Is there a link the public can log into for the court hearing? I don't believe yet, but guys, you guys can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but I don't believe there is a link yet. From what I'm aware is we just heard that we'll be able to stream the audio from the court case or the hearing on Thursday with Lively versus Wayfair, which is really good for transparency, I believe, and especially in a case that is so high profile. I really believe transparency needs to be a priority. All right, so something else interesting that's been happening. Now, these changes, the changes to Wikipedia and the changes to X or Twitter, have only happened, I'd say, in the last couple of days. In fact, yesterday when I was going on X and I was tagging these names, it populated just fine. So now we're not just seeing edits and changes to Wikipedia, we're also seeing suppression of hashtags. Now, this one I'm more confident in saying it's clearly a PR team, because you and me can't go to like Elon Musk and say, oh, Elon or whoever, you probably can go straight to Elon. He's wild. He's like on there. Is it tweeting, Xing? I don't know, all day, but you probably could just message him. But you and I can't get hashtags suppressed. We can't. So normally on a platform like X, when a name or topic's trending, it will like auto-populate the hashtag to encourage engagement. It's all about engagement. It's all about keeping you on the platform. If Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni's names no longer show up in autocomplete, so you can see this here, probably better if you're watching me on your TV. You can see this here. So if I type in Blake Live, not like it should autocomplete as Blake Lively. Blake Lively is a liar still there. I don't know, Nick Shapiro, you might want to message Elon back. Elon actually, I was listening as a side note, listening to an interview with Ari Emanuel, and him and Elon are close. I don't know how close, but they're close. He talks about Elon, and anyway, that's a little side note. So, Ari Emanuel, Nick Shapiro, you might want to message Elon because Blake Lively is a liar, still auto-populates, but that's actually a really good example. But Blake Lively herself doesn't. If I go to It Ends, you can see it auto-populates. It ends with us, and it ends with us movie. If I type in Justin Baldoni, you can see it does not auto-populate anymore with his name. It used to. And if I type in Ryan Reynolds, it does not auto-populate anymore. The only way I could get it to populate is if I typed in, say, Blake Lively, the full name, and then backspaced, and then started typing again, and then it would. That was the only way that I could get it to work for me. So what that shows me is that someone, it's typically PR or legal requests, has asked for those to be flagged or suppressed. Now, it can be flagged inside of the system as well as like sensitive content or harassment, even if it isn't. Now, that can be because it's being mass reported by, say, bots, or because, again, so-and-so from Blake's team reaches out and says this is harassment and you need to do something about it, and you'll hear from our lawyers if you don't. But either way, to see this overnight happen, to me, that's not organic. To me, that is a red flag that something was done to stop the spread of information. So those as well, it's going to reduce the visibility. It's also going to make it harder to search for those related tweets. And which, again, overall, when we're looking at this, is like they're trying to slow momentum, essentially. They're trying to slow momentum. I just saw 2 pro Blake reels on IG. One of them is bashing Kjersti. I will go for anyone that bashes her. She is just a gem, and I will protect her. I am kind of feral. So, as a funny story, I'm going to tell you guys a funny story. It upsets people new to the community when I tell stories, but that's okay. When I was in Australia, I went to Australia for a year, a very long time ago. And when I was meeting friends, we were hanging out, they kept talking about like kids being feral. I don't know if there's any Aussies on. Kids being feral. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I was so confused because I'm Canadian. And to me, like a feral is like a stray animal. And so I was so confused. And then they educated me that, well, yes, children can also be feral and the use of feral there. But I could be feral. So I'm going to look at that. That's not cool. Don't come for her. But that is also a good sign that there's something inorganic happening. If Kjersti's YouTube's being attacked by bots, I know she said that she thought it was trolls. I think it's bots, to be honest. And her Wikipedia is being attacked, and now there's reels being made about her. And which is very interesting because even my reels on TikTok, when I mentioned Blake this morning and talking about, which one was it? I think it was the SEO manipulation one. It is getting like no traction at all. So I have no doubt that there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So manipulating trending lists as well. So if her team reached out to X and said like, hey, we're going to send you a legal letter if you don't stop this because it's harassment, then that's going to manipulate trending topic lists, right? Because you're not going to be able to really see them in the trending topic list. Usually, I mean, is this 100% of the time? I've never checked every single time a hashtag hasn't pre-populated, but typically if it's not populating, you're not going to see it in trending. And it just seems really interesting that this is all around the same time that Nick Shapiro, who I'm half Aussie. I love it. My favorite place on earth, literally my favorite place on earth. I love it there. Yeah, I lived on the Gold Coast for a year. It's wonderful, wonderful people. All right, so why do teams do this? Slow down the negative narrative before it gains momentum, prevent casual users from discovering ongoing discourse, right? Because now if it's not pre-populating, it's usually, and because it won't pre-populate in the search bar either, it's usually just the people that are kind of in it already that are going to be searching for it. So it makes it harder for critics to organize around a single hashtag. Now, also from a psychology perspective, priming effect, salience bias, essentially it's like, if you're not seeing it, you're not thinking about it, more or less. But that's going down on X. Yes, and if we look at, can PR teams control social media? Because this is a question I also get a lot on not my Twitter account. TikTok. There we go. TikTok. So there's so many apps, guys. And I'm old. There's so many apps. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Crystal. That's so kind. I appreciate you. I feel so honored to have you guys here. So platforms have visibility controls for high profile clients. So this would be like big name PR firms, crisis managers like Nick Shapiro. This is visibility to, protect their image. They can manually suppress things. They can go at the algorithm and deprioritize things. They can flag certain words as harassment or safety concerns, and they can justify that then. It's not, for Elon and how he talks so much about free speech and such, it's very shocking to me, actually, that I noticed that with the hashtags there, if I'm being honest. The toxicity excuse, the harassment, it's used for damage control. But this is the thing. It's truly suppressing what people are talking about, is suppressing free speech. And you can also get shadow banning and hashtag suppression. Those are real tactics. Shadow banning it can be pretty bad over on Instagram Meta platforms, but they all use it, especially with AI. So why may Nick Shapiro be doing, and I think we all know, I think we can all guess, we're critical thinkers here. Why might he be maybe allegedly behind the Wikipedia issues and now X? Well, cleaning up Wikipedia to reflect a controlled version of her reputation, to suppress hashtags. So people aren't organically finding the controversy. You kind of have to be a nosy, like me, sleuth, and going in there and looking for information. They're also going to edit content creators' Wikipedia pages to discredit them, because then if you land on it, again, remember, Google's going to prioritize that information. And if it's sketchy stuff coming out about a creator, people are less likely. So remember, the majority of people are searching for this information on Google. They're not searching for it on TikTok. And we have to keep in mind as well, guys, even if people are searching for it on TikTok, and even if people are searching for it on X and Instagram and YouTube, if the algorithm is suppressing it, well, you're not going to find it either there. And that becomes a bigger question in terms of the age we're in with media manipulation, because a lot of people, I think, and rightfully so, think the biggest issue is bots on social media in terms of apps. When this is a big issue, you can't spread anything if all of a sudden every piece of content associated with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds is being pushed down the algorithm, or being suppressed, or being shadow banned, or if anyone that's, Donna from Daily Dose of Donna, love her. She had an issue where she couldn't comment. That is another way to control content creators. It's very common, where you prevent someone from posting or you prevent someone from commenting. And what that does as well, of course, it's going to limit the reach. And under the guise, his free speech is a lie. You literally can't post. Interesting. Yeah, you can't post a lot. So below the belt move, smearing someone's Wikipedia. I agree. So, for me, and where I'm so passionate about this case, and why I've started to bring more of my branding and marketing into my content and into my videos in talking about this case, is because I don't think a lot of people know what goes on in terms of sales psychology, NLP, and sleight of mouth in terms of marketing, and a lot of this manipulation of the algorithms and everything. This is a conversation I have with clients a lot, because they see someone else, Jay Shetty. I don't know if you guys have heard of Jay Shetty. That's a whole other can of worms. But when Facebook was looking to push, I think it was like the recommended or suggested algorithm and feature within Facebook, they bumped them up. No one else gets that. No one else gets the benefits that Jay Shetty got back then. And so everyone was seeing him that liked his page, which we don't get that. We get 1 to 2% of current followers on social media that see our content. 1 to 2%. That's it. I know we're off topic, but I just want to use another example of it. Jay Shetty got 100%. And not only he's a scammer. That's a whole other can of worms. If you guys want something on that, I'm more than happy to create content around that. But yes. And so he was being 100% of people saw his content on Facebook, and then he was being pushed into everyone's suggested feeds. That wasn't organic growth. I don't even care where people can come for me with this. How Jay Shetty got where he is was not organic growth at all. And this is the shit that goes on. And then, the reason why I talk about this too is because I talk about this all the time with my clients, because they'll get frustrated and they'll see, someone like Jay Shetty being pushed in the algorithm all the time. They're like, what am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. It's the system. It's power. It's influence. It's your connections. It's who you know. And that's what oh my God, yes, please. All right. I would love to do an expose on Jay Shetty, because yes, P hit it. He's a scammer. The knowledge you bring is so appreciated. I'm glad. Thank you guys. I love your wisdom. I love your kitty. So cute. I was worried no one would like the deep dives, but I love this. I follow Jay Shetty. He's disingenuous or something we have to know. Yes, I will do a deep dive into that. But that's another way, because what we're looking at with Blake and Ryan is suppressing the algorithm. There's other ways where it's sent up, right? So everyone is seeing, which regular people like us that are trying to build channels or build things online, you don't get that. You're lucky if 1 to 2% of your current followers see you. So this can be worked both ways, to either make someone more popular, so you're pushing them up in the algorithm, or to bring someone down, so you're suppressing anything involved with certain hashtags to control the narrative. So a couple of things before we flip over to the Wikipedia pages. How long have we been going? Oh, we're not bad. It's like, how long? How long do I have? The horses need to eat. They need dinner. So a couple of things you can do is expose Wikipedia edits in real time. So screenshot, share, bring it to the attention of Wikipedia because technically it is against their rules. You can add things to use alternative spellings to bypass it, or just different hashtags. We saw that with Blake Lively. They took out Blake Lively, but you can still use Blake Lively as a liar. Like, what are they running over there? What are they running over there? It's like they take out Blake Lively, but they leave Blake Lively as a liar. Like, is that supposed to be an Easter egg for us from Elon Musk or something? I don't know. Manually reshare post to counteract engagement throttling. So this is going to be a big one, guys. Share, and I think the content creators more than ever are going to have to come together. The citizen journalists are going to have to come together. You guys, if you don't have the platforms and you're just interested in this topic, like sharing, reposting, liking, subscribing, hitting get notifications, the more engagement there is on content, the more it's going to push it up, and it's going to be harder for them to bypass that, right? Because if you guys are engaging regardless, well, even if the system's trying to throttle, like say a live stream like this that's talking about the subject, you guys are kind of counteracting that. Tag independent journalists to cover media manipulation or cover what's happening, and get more creators talking about this. I've reached out. I know you guys are reaching out a lot as well, but I've reached out to like even Candace Owens and been like, can you help me with this? Because I need help. Jay Shetty's a monk turned motivational speaker. So he says. Guys, we are going like down a rabbit hole. Oh, wait. His monk picture is with a hoodie. It's wild. I read Jay Shetty's profile, has Shady Scammer all over it. I like my blood pressure is going up. Yes, click like, comment, share. We will do a dedicated Jay Shetty live. We will do it because I like calling out scammers. So when we're looking at Wikipedia, the question I always had is like, the original idea with Wikipedia was designed as an open source knowledge project, right? So it was based on the idea of like a collective group of contributors coming together to balance out bias. But the theory of that rests on the problem of the idea everyone has a playing field and no one's shady as shit. But that's not the reality. So if anyone can edit, misinformation can be quickly corrected, sure. But on the flip side, PR teams, powerful PR teams, can then control the narrative, right? So, it's just really interesting to me. I think the intention was good with Wikipedia, but it's just being used to manipulate SEO as legal and corporate strategies. There are dedicated Wikipedia power editors. So there'll be like a small group of elite editors and they hold the most control, and they'll go through. And there's like literally that is their job in a corporation. They do this with like Reddit too. Their job is literally to go through and control the narrative. So they'll go through and revert changes, block users, and determine what stays on a Wikipedia page. It's pretty wild. All right, let's look at Blake's first. Oh, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, thank you so much. It's so nice to see you live. Oh my goodness. I love you guys. Yes, his backstory has been disproven, but when you have Meta behind you and every platform behind you for some reason, yeah, it's wild. It's wild. You guys are going to be like, it's going to be wild when you see that video about him. But anyway, okay. I love that you guys are into this stuff. We have so much to talk about, my friends. Okay, so this is Blake's Wikipedia page. So the way you guys can start to get your bearings on Wikipedia is go to view history. We'll go through this as well, but it has all of, so hers, interestingly enough, the big changes were happening in February of 2025, the end of February, which also piqued my interest because if you remember that, was it Variety that got the exclusive on Blake hiring Nick Shapiro? They made this point of saying she's working secretly behind the scenes with Nick Shapiro. And I was like, well, it's obviously not that secret if you're doing a Variety exclusive around it, Blake. But this makes more sense now if it is true that he's been on the staff and a paid employee of hers, a fixer of hers longer than we realized, because maybe he was working behind the scenes. Because we're seeing significant shifts in Blake's Wikipedia throughout February. Like they were prepping for something a lot in January as well. Like you can go back. But like, look at the amount of edits on this page. All of these Arter sick, Krimuk 2, all of these edits on the same days. So it wouldn't actually surprise me. Oh my gosh, now I've got Shania Twain stuck in my head. It wouldn't surprise me if he has been on a little bit longer than we realize. All right, so there were a couple things that really caught my attention, but now I have to go through them again, see if I can find it. Oh, this was interesting. Okay, this psychological drama, All I See Is You, which premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival to mixed reviews. In 2018, she starred in the mystery thriller A Simple Favor alongside Anna Kendrick and Henry Golding and directed by Paul Feig. Feig? The film was released in September 14th and Lively's performance was acclaimed. Was it? I don't remember. That's a genuine question, not me being snarky. A genuine question. Because I genuinely do not know. I didn't even know about, oh, you guys are so kind. And the farm animals, it goes straight to the farm animals, guys. Like that stuff that's their hay. That's their next hay order we put through. I love you guys. But I don't even remember the original Simple Favor. I didn't know about Simple Favor until all of this drama happened. But I don't know, maybe it was. The film was released September 14th, so it was acclaimed. Variety wrote, she has her moments, ... Many of them physical, ... Lively's Emily is both repellent and irresistible. Some critics believe that she could achieve her first Academy Award nomination for the role. However, a nomination never eventuated. There was Academy Award talk for her. She did a good job in A Simple Favor. She was playing herself. I did not realize that there was apparently Academy Award talk for her. All right. She made her directorial debut as a co-writer and director. See, and this is the kind of stuff like that is 100% PR. Like there's no way. I will never believe it that she was in the running for an Academy Award. I will never believe it. Maybe it's really good though. I'm afraid to watch it. Maybe it is really good. All right, so her directorial debut as a co-writer and director of the music video for Taylor Swift's song I Bet You Think About Me, featuring American songwriter Chris Stapleton, released on November 15th, 2021. In April 2022, it was announced Lively would make her feature directing debut with an adaptation of the graphic novel Seconds, with Edgar Wright writing the screenplay and producing. In January 2023, it was announced that she would star in the film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's novel It Ends With Us as the lead character. I didn't know. Now I want to check everything that it says in here. This is what a lot of people were calling out online, that this is why her and Ryan were doing what they did on the films. And this is this is a PR move. In April 2024, Lively and Reynolds became the first married Hollywood couple to have two separate films, which they starred in top the box office on the same weekend since Bruce Willis and Demi Moore in 1990. As their respective films, It Ends With Us and Deadpool and Wolverine would occupy the number 1 and number 2 spots at the box office during the August 9th to 11th weekend. So a lot of people, I love Edgar Wright. He should run. I need to look into that more. I didn't even know about that. But a lot of people online had said they thought a lot of the promotion was done it was weird, guys. I don't even think you have to be on Justin's side to admit it was really weird that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were featured on the red carpet for It Ends With Us. Even if you take out the fact that Justin was put in the basement, it's still just weird. So remember what we talked about, the word controversy? It Ends With Us controversy. During the troubled production, Lively filed a complaint with the California Civil Rights Department alleging she experienced SH from the film's director and co-star, Justin Baldoni. The New York Times reported that Justin Baldoni then hired a PR crisis management team to bury Lively. I wonder what Nick Shapiro was for, Lively, after she confronted him about the alleged harassment. Documents obtained by, and see, this is such PR. Documents obtained by Lively via subpoena, which I don't think we've ever seen a subpoena for that. I don't think there's ever been a mention of the subpoena for that. Allegedly showed a coordinated effort on behalf of Baldoni to discredit her across both traditional and social media. That is literally not what happened at all. I guess when you edit text messages enough, that's what it looks like. But see, this is narrative control. This is trying to control the narrative. She's a good actress, but her acting is kind of one-dimensional. Yeah, she has good moments. It Ends With Us was not it, though. That was not a good movie. But I will say there's some stuff that I have found her pretty good in. But she is definitely one-dimensional. I will agree with that. So this is definitely, it's wild. I'm surprised Justin's team hasn't fought that. Maybe he doesn't even know that it's up here. Who knows? See, this is all PR. Colleen Hoover, who wrote the novel on which the film was based, released a statement supporting her. Remember I talked about when you're looking to manipulate SEO and you're looking to manipulate the narrative, you go to Wikipedia and you change the narrative, right? So that's exactly what happened. Colleen Hoover, who wrote the novel on which the film was based, then released a statement supporting her. Lively's co-stars from the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants released a joint statement in her defense. No one seems to be coming out now, though, since all the details came out. Throughout the filming of It Ends With Us, they stated in one passage, we saw her summon the courage to ask for a safe workplace for herself and colleagues on set. We were appalled to read the evidence of premeditated and vindictive efforts that ensued to discredit her voice. They even add actors Gwyneth Paltrow, Amy Schumer, et cetera, and film producer Alex Sachs have also spoken out for Lively. This is all PR. As have representatives of SAG. Have they? Has SAG spoken out in her defense and Sony Pictures? I know Sony did. It sounded like Ryan Reynolds wrote it. Go back and read the statement that Sony put out, and it sounds like Ryan Reynolds wrote it. But I don't know. Did SAG? Someone help me out in the comments if anyone knows if SAG really did. Journalists, they even point, see guys, this is the stuff you want to look for. They even put in that Liz Plank announced she was leaving the podcast Man Enough in Blake Lively's Wikipedia. And actresses Kate Beckinsale and Abigail Breslin, both inspired by Lively, spoke out. None of that needs to be in a Wikipedia account unless it's narrative control. In response, Justin Baldoni, so they put she's the victim, which if she comes out with a smoking gun, I will be the first one online to feature it. I have not seen anything. And I don't feel like you need a Nick Shapiro, Ray Donovan fixer if you have a smoking gun. It just doesn't make sense to me. In response, Justin Baldoni filed a libel lawsuit for $250 million against the New York Times, accusing them of pushing an unverified and self-serving narrative, using cherry-picked and altered communications stripped of necessary context, and allegedly ignoring evidence disputing her claims. The New York Times defended itself. The role of an independent news organization is to follow the facts where they lead. To date, Wayfarer Studios, Mr. Baldoni, and the other subjects of the article and the representatives have not pointed to a single error. I feel like that's hard to believe. So that's all PR. I think I missed it somewhere, but she even puts that she's the godmother of Taylor's kids in here somewhere. Or Taylor's kids. I don't know. Maybe I'm having a psychic vision or something. That Taylor's the godmother of her kids. It's in there somewhere too. But that controversy was all added. Yeah. So anyway, what you always want to do is look at anything that is softening controversy and those that and things that are kind of making Justin in this situation, Justin look bad, which is kind of exactly what it looks like, honestly. And then you go to view history. And again, it's when you start to see there's been nothing since February 22nd, but honestly, I don't think there's been much for a PR team to add since then, to be quite honest. I think what they did, to me, what this looks like, allegedly, is that her team went in there. They edited in February, even in January, what they wanted to add. They shifted things around. They added, like, look at, you're seeing all this "it ends with us" controversy. Someone said there was no source for her being a fashion icon. So you need a source, and that's why it said that, like, Wikipedia, that it's like, it's good. It's because it has to be sourced, but that is actually hilarious that someone edited her Wikipedia because there was no source for her being a fashion icon. That's actually funny. But so you want to go through, because some of it's going to be grammar fixes. One of these on hers is literally, oh yeah, this last one on February 22nd was adding a space to offset or onset. So it was one word, they switched it to 2 words. So it's not always big, horrible things that are happening. You want to go through and you want to start looking at, like, another one, like, in-laws don't belong in this field. Just weird. Justin Baldoni lawsuit added January 4th. And you want to just look at names. And like I said, the biggest thing for me is this Pagan Hobbit has done 49 edits on this account. That is suspicious to me. So that is Blake Lively's. Let me pull up Kjersti's account. Oh my gosh, I have too many layers and I have my office door closed. Sweating. Like in an oven. All right, so let's look at her account. So I took pictures from last night and I'm not seeing major differences from when I went to bed last night. So this is Kirstie Fla's account. This is what she says was the controversy involving Kim Soo-hun, Claudia Kim. In November 2018, Flaa faced criticism after an interview with Korean actress Kim Soo-hun, I believe Claudia Kim, during the press tour for Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Even though that was a movie. During the interview, Flaa asked Kim whether she had read the Harry Potter books in English when she was in middle school. The question was perceived by some as racially insensitive. See, if I'm looking at this from a perspective of the opposing PR team, and the opposing PR team being, say, allegedly just throwing things out there. If Blake Lively's team or someone on her team had gone in and done this, now we have someone that you're saying, oh, you're going to trust her? She's a racist. Look what she did, right? So now what's going to trend in Google is that Kjersti has a history of being racist and racially insensitive. This does scream, these edits, I will be honest, PR. Like someone intentionally went in and this was put there for a reason. Also, who would come up with that? Like that seems like a random thing. Who would come up with that is someone like, for example, I don't know, Nick Shapiro going through and digging up dirt on someone and then adding it to their Wikipedia page that can then influence the media narrative. That wasn't offensive in my opinion. No, I agree. And it's so stupid because Kjersti isn't a native English speaker either. And she says that on her channel. That's what she says on her channel too. Like not everyone speaks English. What are you talking about, right? Like she wasn't either. And she said, I swear that part in her Wikipedia was not new. She says the whole thing isn't new, but there's some edits within it. She said some words within it that have slanted it. And we'll pull up her Wikipedia is changing by the minute, literally changing by the minute. It's wild. So what tends to happen, and here's the thing, guys, what we have to keep in mind as well. I've seen some talk, and it might have actually been Dave Neal today. Shout out to Dave Neal. We love Dave around here and in this house. My husband and I both listen to him. He had pointed out that, anyone could have set up the page. And we talked about that earlier, and that's legit. Anyone could have set up her Wikipedia page. But here's the thing. He had proposed, and I've seen a couple other people propose that potentially it was Justin's side, right? Like Justin's side had set up her page to basically promote her. Like, look we have this journalist on our side. She had a beef with Blake, et cetera, et cetera. And that could very well be it. It could be a fan of Justin. It could be Justin's PR. I'm just going to say that could be a possibility, right? I'm not going to lie to you guys. That could be a possibility. But where my brain goes also for PR teams that play the long game is you could potentially have set this up from the beginning being on Blake's side. So it's possible that it hasn't changed significantly, but we don't know who set it up initially. Because you could also, from the rival side, for example, of Kjersti's, on believing just what Justin has to say and believing his proof and his facts so far, and she had that history with Blake, there is a possibility that someone on her team had set that up as well. It's very possible because anyone can set these up. So it could have been set up from the beginning to influence SEO as well. It's obviously a smear. Yeah. So when I see this, even if, let's play devil's advocate and say that the question was perceived as racially insensitive. Let's play devil's advocate and say that was there all along. My answer to that then is, do you know who set this up in the beginning and what their motivation was from the beginning? And unless someone can go in and track who these people are that are behind these accounts, no one can say for sure. So it could have been a smear playing the long game from the get-go. The teams aren't always reacting, right? That's what makes them good. So it makes Taylor Swift's team good. They're predicting. They're on top of things before shit goes sideways. They have the narrative control has slipped recently, but. All right. So let's just have a peek at her history. I mean, look at all the edits today, even March 3rd. There was content removed. Okay, so there's been edits apparently on the controversy itself. I don't know who the Seattle law nerd is. Hales Bells, adding small context details and remove wording of sarcastic as it is subjective. Include detail that when referencing actor costumes, Flaa stage, she would ask both men and women because it was a period piece. Okay, so let's compare. Let's go back. Because I did see that. I did notice it. Okay, it's under the Blake Lively interview. So Flaa became widely known following a 2016 interview with actress Blake Lively and her co-star Parker Posey during the press tour for the film Cafe Society. The interview resurfaced in 2024 when Flaa uploaded a clip to her YouTube channel describing the encounter as the most uncomfortable interview situation I've ever experienced. During the interview, she seems so sweet. I have no doubt that was very uncomfortable for her. During the interview, Flaa congratulated Lively on her pregnancy and little bump, to which Lively responded with a sarcastic remark saying, "Congrats on your little bump." Flaa, so that's what keeps getting people are fighting over that. Well, I wonder what side's getting pissed over the word sarcastic to describe Blake. Just a side note, this is exactly why Wiki is never allowed as a legitimate source in a thesis. Yeah. But herein lies the problem, my friend, and what I've been talking about is that's true. For people like us that have critical thinking skills, we're like, this is why it's a cesspool of misinformation. My theory all along was that Wikipedia was always created. This is my conspiracy theory. If you guys want to hear my conspiracy theory. My conspiracy theory is that if we were to actually trace the origins of Wikipedia and the intentions behind that was always created for PR. That's my conspiracy theory. I have nothing to back that up other than that's what it's used for. So yes, for a lot of us, we're like, but Ashley, what are you talking about? No one trusts us. Yeah, they do, man. They do. And journalists quote Wikipedia, legacy journalists and media still quote it. It is wild. And people believe it. And when we keep in mind, again, AI is huge now on Google. You put in a question and AI populates a response. Your response is coming from Wikipedia. That's wild. So it has significant implications, what's in here. But yeah, so there's a fight over a sarcastic remark. Flaa later revealed that the comment was particularly painful due to her struggles with infertility at the time. The interview also included a tense moment with Flaa, when Flaa asked the actresses about the film's costumes, leading Lively to question whether a male actor would be asked similar questions. Flaa replied that they would. That was also an edit. So see, it doesn't have to be, because this one wasn't there before. For sure, I know that. Because I've compared a lot of the edits. That one wasn't there before. And that's another thing why I need to look at, I haven't looked at the original version, but this is why I also keep questioning the theory that Justin's team might have set this up to, which, hey, anyone can at the end of the day, to be like, let's prop her up and give her a platform because that's going to trend. It gives her more credibility in Google and gives her more credibility with AI. But I feel like if it was his team, that would have been added from the beginning. Because if you don't add that, it's just kind of, again, you add here that, oh, look at it. She's like asking them about their costumes and, she wouldn't do that for a man. And she's asking about her little bump. And then, oh my God, we scroll down and oh my gosh, she's also racially insensitive. What's wrong with this woman? See, Haley's got us. Haley's got our back. She's like, I got you. I am on ChatGPT. I'm ChatGPTing this shit for you. Yep. All the sources are Wikipedia. That's why I'm saying, unless I have hard proof in front of me, yes, I could get behind the argument that maybe Justin's team set it up because it looks good to have like a legit journalist on your side. It just seems weird to me. That's terrible. Someone can open a wiki for any of us. Yeah. And just dump lies. Yep. Exactly. This is why it seems weird to me that it would have been friendly fire or friendly, your friend, I don't know, friends, whatever, and setting this up. Because this was added later, the clarification that Kjersti would have said, like, yeah, I would have asked the guys about what they're wearing too. It's a freaking period piece. Like, chill out, Blake, who can't stop talking about her Britney Spears dress and every other floral outfit she's wearing during a DV movie. Chill. I would have asked them as well. Because when you start to, and this is the thing that you start to train yourself to look at is patterns, right? I do a lot of copywriting for people. For some clients, that's literally all I do is I do their copywriting and I send it off. So when I'm seeing these little patterns and these words come up again, like, okay, yeah, she's insensitive. Who asks a woman about their little bump? Did she even know she was pregnant, right? And then without that context, okay, she's also just what? Like, what kind of interviewer is she? She's talking about their little bump and the clothes they're wearing, and then she's being racially insensitive to this person. I'm not convinced this was ever set up by someone that didn't have motives that were not very nice for the long term. I think this was set up from the speculation. To me, it just seems suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. It is very suspicious. That's what I would just say. And like, look at all this. So the controversy around Claudia Kim, there's been a lot of edits back and forth. It's like people are fighting back and forth on this. Lively and Reynolds PR smearing a reputable journalist, dishonest content. Yeah, so it's just back and forth. So my question, what I initially think, again, it's speculation. It's just speculation. Remember we talked about how there will be people in a PR team in a corporation that their job is literally to like be on top of these edits and fix them. It just screams that to me. So this one here, adding small context details and removed wording of sarcastic as it was subjective. Included detail that when referencing actor's costume, she would have asked both men and women because it was a period piece. So this person, Hales Bells, removed the word sarcastic. Nice small context and remove the word sarcastic, and then it's back. But anyway, so I don't know, guys. Question, can all the new edits be re-edited to show correct context? Yeah, absolutely. Like she could, in theory, go in and or anyone really, and edit it, the problem becomes that's a great question. The problem becomes, yeah, there we go. Money talks. Money talks. And sometimes what ends up happening is if you're just one person and say, for example, allegedly, just hypothetically, Blake Lively has a team of people that are online tracking Reddit threads and tracking Wikipedia and tracking social media, it becomes really hard to stay on top of it because they'll just go in and re-edit again. And if you go through loopholes, you could get banned from making edits. Big PR teams are going to understand how to do that. So sometimes it does become kind of a losing battle, to be honest, which is very unfortunate. But that's where you ultimately have to go to Wikipedia itself and create a stink around it, because sometimes battling them out and the edit versus re-edit shit is just a losing battle. Did I pull up Ryan Reynolds? We'll pull up Justin's. Can't be much longer, but we'll pull up Justin's. And I believe I want to pull up Ryan's again because I believe his edit history was the same time as Blake's. I haven't read through Ryan's. But Justin's, I haven't read through his much either in regards to it. So in 2024, Baldoni directed, produced, and starred in the romantic drama It Ends With Us. Romantic drama. I don't know. How do you classify this movie? Definitely not a rom-com. Romantic drama? I don't know. Based on Colleen Hoover's novel, the same name, in the film in which she acted opposite Blake Lively, Baldoni portrays a neurosurgeon who is a domestic abuser. The film became a box office hit, earning over $350 million, but it received mixed reviews from critics. That's pretty honest. I don't know. Maybe his team put it. Maybe Blake's team went in and was like, oh, no, I can't see her doing that because it was her cut. I wonder if that's like a dig from Justin's team. So I can't see Blake putting it there or her team putting it there because it was her cut. Eventually, Baldoni and Lively had a combative working relationship on the set, with Lively accusing him of SHing her and creating a toxic workplace environment. Pulitzer Prize award-winning journalist Megan Twohey and Mike McIntyre from the New York Times investigated the allegations and reported that Baldoni had hired a PR crisis firm in order to bury her through a coordinated smear campaign against her across social media platforms such as TikTok, Reddit, and X. He responded with $250 million defamation lawsuit against the newspaper, saying that the article's authors had pulled quotes so far out of context as to be the opposite of the truth. Baldoni's attorney, Brian Freeman, released what he said were the full unedited version of emails, texts, and other information in order to demonstrate Baldoni's accusations against the Times. He doesn't really talk much about it. It's nice and simple, gives an overview of what happened. Yeah. But see the difference, even from his to hers? Like, it addresses it, but it keeps it simple, because you also want to face things head on, especially like in something like this, because it's going to come out, right? So you want to face things head on. So he addresses it, but it's so simple. But Blake, can you guys see the difference? Like, Blake's on here pulling quotes from people that support her. I mean, like, you know, Kate Beckinsale supports me and Traveling Pants support me and everyone else supports me. And he just keeps it facts, simple, done. New York Times investigated. Yeah, that's debatable. That's debatable. That just like, it's professional to the point. We're addressing the issue. We're moving on. And it goes on to the Man Enough projects. But not Blake's. She's got to have everyone and their sister in Chihuahua on there with a quote saying why they support her. Where's his edits? It's just giving me the edits, not giving me the edit history. That's weird. Let me try pulling it up again. Okay, we'll switch to this page. I don't know why this one's not. I've had it pulled up for a while, so I wonder if it's because it's been pulled up for so long. Okay, so view history on Justin's. There was an edit today. 2 edits today. Two edits yesterday. Okay, so the one was fixing a typo. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. The one was fixing a typo. So you can also, see there, sorry, I'm going to go back. You can click on compare selected revisions. So you can click which ones you want to compare. So if we click on the ones from today, what changed? Oh, that was taken out. So someone had added, many claim that Justin Baldoni is a good man and there hasn't been an ounce of bad. This is one that I was telling you guys about earlier. I said, it sounds like someone just like went in like a fan and edited it. It was like, F you, Blake. Many claim that Justin Baldoni is a good man and there hasn't been an ounce of bad publicity. However, compared to his co-star Blake Lively, she has had bad publicity since Class Up Girl. That was removed. So you can see, and you can go through and see what was removed. Latest revisions. Oh, I'm not reading all through that again. But yeah, you can go through and you can see. So Justin's had some edits in the last couple of days, but it looks like his major edits as well were in February and January. So the legal issues were added. It just seems like a lot, like all of their pages were edited to add that. So you're seeing like all of their pages having been edited around that time to add the "it ends with us" controversy, again, because it's important for PR, because it's going to, like, Wikipedia is critical for it. Let me just see if I have Ryan. Let's pull it up. So again, like, just keeping in mind that, like, we're seeing in some instances, it's literally just, oh, whoops. It's literally just corrections on like spelling and stuff. So it's not always nefarious. But again, it kind of, I look at Kjersti's and it just raises eyebrows. Honestly, it makes me go, as I say. It makes me go, I don't know if it was someone that was friendly towards her that set it up in the beginning. I think it potentially was always set up to kind of make people question her credibility. I wonder if he includes all the problems he's had with everyone on set. Probably not. Probably not. We're not going to go through everything for him, but let's view history. So his edits were around the end of February as well. I think Blake's last one was February 20th as well. So I would say interesting. So January 2nd, someone went into, because here, Misawa Sakura on January 2nd seems to have added the "it ends with us" controversy. January 2nd, someone goes in, "it ends with us" controversy, removing this as gossip and not entirely about Reynolds. Anonymous reports that Reynolds confronted him might be enough for tabloid reporting, but let's have a higher bar. So it looks like there was edits taken out in regards to "it ends with us." So it looks like a lot of stuff being edited around his personal life, philanthropy. Yeah, a lot of personal life stuff. "It ends with us" controversy. Yeah. What was edited here? Oh, one word was edited. Yeah. So I don't see a lot on Ryan's page. The last edit was the 20th. Someone might have gone through and just edited like a word or two. Wait, what? Oh, the article is about the actor. I was like, wait, he was a football player? No, keep reading. Keep reading, Ashley. Let's see if it's still there, any of the "it ends with us" controversy. Personal life. I would love the truth on the personal life. Interesting. I'm not seeing it. Public image. He works hard on his public image, that's for sure. There's Maximum Effort, the company that they pretended was not them. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Grab your florals. That wasn't me. It was forced upon me. Ay. It's wild. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Looks like it might have been removed. The It Ends With Us controversy. Interesting. All right, guys. So that's how you can keep track of it. So again, you're going to see Wikipedia kind of as a main place in terms of Google and trying to get. How did I get here? I typed in housewife hour. Oh my goodness. I don't know how you got here. Welcome to the chat though. That's wild. That's so funny. I don't know how you got here. I didn't even know that the system was actually even pushing my content anymore, to be honest. Wikipedia staff have a very neutral way of writing. PR teams don't. Yeah, you can tell who wrote each article for sure. That's what I mean by Blake's, right? Like Blake's article is all, but look at everyone that supports me, all the quotes that support me. And I was supposed to get an Academy Award and all of that stuff. You're welcome, Leo. That's wild. You never know what the algorithm where I maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe because I talk about ADHD a lot, that might trigger that algorithm. That is possible. That is very possible. Yummy and sparkly. Yeah, there's some other algorithm things. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you guys today. So my overall kind of look at all of this is, yeah, I mean, we're looking at Wikipedia changes, SEO manipulation. We're looking at hashtags being suppressed on X. There's obviously something going on. I'm not convinced that Kjersti's Wikipedia was ever from someone that was like doing it with good intentions, because when you look through it and you actually start to pick up on keywords that are used within it, it kind of paints her as a little bit of a bitch. She's not. Please don't go back to her and say I said that. She's not. She's lovely. I think she's wonderful. And she's like the stream, guys. Subscribe and hang out. Even if, maybe the algorithm put you here by accident. Maybe it's a sign to hang out with us here. But I think she's absolutely lovely. Please no one clip that and say that I'm saying something bad about her, because I'm definitely not. But I just, when you start to look at, it just seems like, why is she so problematic in every single interview she does, right? That's the vibe it kind of gives, to me anyway. But that's how you can go in and look at Wikipedia. Keep an eye. Doesn't mean you have to check every minute, but keep an eye. Big content creators that have Wikipedia accounts could start seeing edits on it. I don't think Blake's will, honestly. Not much is happening in the case. And anything that's coming out right now, like, what is she going to put? That there's like a backlash on her online and that her hair brand crashed and burned and no one wants Betty Buzz. Like, is she going to put that on her Wikipedia? Like, I doubt it. So I can't see her really putting anything up there. She did the edits where it's saying, this is what happened on It Ends With Us, but everyone loves me. Everyone supports me. Everyone hates Justin. She did all those edits on it. So I think that's going to stay pretty the same. You might see people, like even just fans of one side or the other, try to attack the other person's Wikipedia accounts. But I think for the most part, you're going to see those pages stay the same now. I think the biggest issue you're going to see is probably more content creator issues overall. So that's what you want to keep an eye on. I think content creators are going to go for. And one of the things to keep in mind, has anyone seen Ray Donovan? Let me know if you've seen Ray Donovan. Great show. I'm going to start watching it again. Great show. But the thing to keep in mind as well with someone like Nick Shapiro is he's not really someone that's going out there to plant things necessarily. Although I'm sure he'll edit history. He's a fixer. He's a cleaner upper. Yeah. So I think I don't think we're going to see a lot from him in the sense of outward public image stuff. Although I'm sure she has regular PR for that as well that are helping her. I'd look for more of things disappearing, which is hard because if you don't know what to look for, you don't know what to look for, right? But I'd look for more of things disappearing and then attacks on content creators, to be honest. All right, my friends, that's all I've got for you. I've got to go feed the horses. Oh my goodness, I'm way over. Today's been a day. I'm not used to streaming this late. Like the Scoop, Ray Donovan fan, so good. This is real life Ray Donovan. And I feel so bad for Justin Baldoni because I mean, he's already been hospitalized from stress because of all this during the filming. Cannot even imagine. Luckily, he has a good team behind him. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll be able to come live again. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe we'll do like a roundup on all the stuff, because I had wanted to do just a roundup stream as well today to do two, but today got away from me. So maybe we'll do that. We'll hang out here. We'll do a roundup. We'll just like, bring whatever you're drinking. I have a hot chocolate with me. We'll hang out and see what's going on. Oh, I'm so glad you guys enjoy. I'm so glad you guys enjoy the deep dives, because I love the deep dives. So it's really cool that you guys do as well. Does everyone like the pages? Subscribe. Please hang out with us. But even Ray Donovan ran into problems. That is a good point, my friend. This is a very good point. All right. It was such an honor to hang out with you guys. Honestly, I appreciate each of you so much. I still pinch myself that I get to talk about this stuff with you guys. And it's really cool. I get to bring in my background so that we can understand kind of the inner workings of what's going on. But I would say overall, stay sharp. If you see something, screenshot. You never know when you might need it, right? Especially if we're looking at someone that things might start disappearing. For example, maybe like a hidden video of Blake talking about Taylor was involved in the entire process might disappear. You can't take it away from every content creator's platform, but things like that, right? Just stay sharp. Support your content creators that you like their channel, subscribe, recommend them to other people, share their reels, because what we're seeing right now is suppression of content in the algorithm, but you guys hold the power. And I think it's damn time that the public shows powerful people who actually has the power, because it's the people that has the power. If we come together, us as a collective have more power than Ari Emanuel and Ryan Reynolds. All right, my friends. Again, it was a joy. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.